Timothée Chalamet is trending everywhere right now. And not for a movie, not for a red carpet, and not for an award. This time it's because of a comment he made during an interview that the internet says crossed the line. What started as a casual conversation about movies somehow turned into a full-blown debate about opera, ballet, Hollywood, and even the Oscars. Celebrities started reacting, artists got offended, old clips resurfaced, and suddenly people were asking the same question all over social media. Did he just disrespect an entire art form, or is the internet blowing this way out of proportion? The moment that started, everything didn't even look dramatic at first. He was talking about the film industry and how movies are promoted today, explaining that he doesn't like when filmmakers have to beg audiences to support cinema or keep certain types of movies alive. He said that when something is truly exciting, people will show up on their own. He brought up huge cultural moments like Barbie and Oppenheimer, saying those films didn't need anyone pleading with the public to care because the audience was already there. But then the conversation shifted, and that's when things got awkward fast. While explaining his point, he mentioned ballet and opera as examples of art forms that sometimes feel like they need people to keep reminding the public to support them. He joked that he wouldn't want to be working in something where you have to say, "Please keep this alive even though nobody cares anymore." And right after saying it, he laughed and admitted he probably just lost a bit of viewership by saying that. It sounded like a joke, but the internet didn't take it as one. Within hours, the clip was everywhere. People started reposting it, slowing it down, replaying the exact line over and over, and arguing about what he really meant. Some fans said it was obvious he was joking, and that he even showed respect to those art forms in the same sentence. Others felt like the joke revealed what he actually thinks, and that he was comparing blockbuster movies to opera and ballet in a way that made those traditions sound outdated. The fact that he realized immediately that the comment might upset people only made the moment feel more real, because it showed he knew exactly how it could come across. And once the internet decides a clip looks disrespectful, the reaction spreads faster than anything else. The backlash didn't just come from random viewers either. People from the ballet and opera world started speaking up almost immediately, and they were not happy about the way those art forms were being talked about. Performers, teachers, and fans began posting videos explaining how much work goes into those disciplines, and how they are still very much alive today. Some pointed out that dancers train for years before ever stepping on stage, and that opera singers spend decades mastering their craft. To them, the idea that nobody cares anymore felt insulting, especially coming from someone who is also part of the arts. Organizations connected to ballet and opera even released statements reminding people that these traditions have influenced film, theater, music, and fashion for centuries. They argued that modern entertainment wouldn't even exist in the same way without those older art forms, and that dismissing them as irrelevant shows a lack of understanding of how culture actually works. But the situation really exploded once other celebrities started reacting. When famous people get involved, the internet always gets louder, and this time was no different. One of the first big reactions came from Doja Cat, who jumped into the conversation and made it clear she thought the comment was unnecessary. She talked about how dancers and performers show up every day, train for hours, get injured, get exhausted, and still keep going because they respect what they do. Her point wasn't just about ballet or opera, it was about artists respecting other artists, and a lot of people agreed with that. Not long after that, opera singers and performers started posting their own responses, saying you don't have to love every form of art, but putting another one down makes you look small. Then the conversation got even bigger when Whoopi Goldberg talked about it on television, saying that when you come from the arts, you should understand how much work goes into every discipline, and that joking about someone else's craft can come off as disrespectful even if you didn't mean it that way. Once clips of those reactions started spreading, the drama stopped being about one interview and turned into a full-scale debate about respect in the entertainment world. Just when people thought the situation would calm down, the internet did what it always does and started digging through old interviews, and that's when things got even more interesting. Fans found clips from years ago where he mentioned opera again, and this time the comments sounded very similar. In one interview from 2019, He talked about being worried that movies could become like opera, something that only a small audience pays attention to. At the time, nobody cared, but now those clips were being reposted everywhere, and people started saying this wasn't just a one-time joke. Some viewers began to wonder if he actually believes certain art forms are outdated, and that idea spread fast online. Others defended him, saying he was just talking about audience size and popularity, not disrespecting the art itself. Still, once people think they see a pattern, it's almost impossible to stop the conversation from growing. And then the drama took a turn nobody expected when the Oscar race suddenly got pulled into it. Around the same time the controversy was blowing up, prediction numbers online started changing, and fans noticed that his chances of winning Best Actor didn't look as strong as before. Earlier predictions had him leading comfortably, but now another actor was suddenly ahead, and social media immediately connected the two things. People started saying the backlash must have hurt his chances, and some even claimed the interview might cost him the award. The idea spread so fast that it almost became part of the story itself, even though nobody could prove the two things were actually related. What most people didn't realize at first is that the voting had already closed before the controversy even went viral. By the time the clip started spreading online, the ballots had already been submitted, which means the outcome couldn't have been affected by the backlash at all. But that didn't stop the internet from arguing about it. Some people still insisted the drama mattered. Others said the whole thing proved how quickly online reactions can turn a small moment into something huge. In the end, the Oscar talk showed how fast a conversation can grow once fans, celebrities, and media all start feeding into the same story. Now, the whole situation feels bigger than one comment, one interview, or even one award. It turned into a debate about what counts as real art, who gets to decide what people care about, and why every single thing a celebrity says gets analyzed like it's a statement meant to start a war. Some viewers think the reaction was completely over the top and that he was clearly joking. Others think the criticism makes sense because when you're part of the arts, people expect you to respect every form of it, even the ones that don't fill stadiums or break box office records. And honestly, the fact that one short line about ballet and opera turned into days of arguments online says a lot about how fast things can spiral now. So now it really comes down to what you think. Was he just being honest about how the entertainment world works? Or did the joke go too far? Did the internet overreact, or did the backlash make sense? And with the awards coming up, do you think this situation will change how people look at him, even if the voting already happened? Let me know what you think, because this is one of those moments where the comments are almost more interesting than the story itself.